20 till 12 here at night. A little inspiration. Let's see if this will work. Executive briefing. Earth game. What's going on? What happened on Earth? What is actually going on? What's actually happening? Now you may argue with the details, but try to feel the overview here. So Earth, an innocent planet developing, one landmass, Pangaea, smaller circumference of the Earth than it is today, roughly 5 million years ago. However, time is not measured linearly as we do today. So, it is flexible time. It is not exactly 5 million years linearly in Pangaea. In Pangaea, spirits first enter into the earth. Some spirits are descending. They are coming in from astral or higher realms and start uplifting, creating the seeded DNA and manifest physical bodies, various forms, cat, snake, bird, avian, etc., mammalian. This form change and shift, able to walk in and out of bodies and dissolve bodies, goes on for a while. Something occurs on Earth where the paradisical nature, Garden of Eden nature, gets disturbed by the invasion of spirits that feed off of other spirits. And don't go Scientology with me here. There's always pieces of the truth here and there. Dragons are real, you know, satyrs are real, different forms are real. There's still no feeding on each other. Earth falls in frequency here. Death is introduced. Feeding on each other as spirits is introduced. The native earth spirits are very, very innocent. At this time, there's the fallen angel story. Spirits come in that obfuscate, trick, deceive, introduce the concept of death. Death did not exist before that. When you walk in and out of the stairway to heaven, there's no such thing as death. As you consciously walk into other dimensions, you don't die. You don't die anyway. But the apparent separation is introduced at this time, and it is these flames of fear are fed upon. History starts. Ownership starts. Fear starts. Murder starts at this point. And you could say this is a race that travels throughout the universe and feeds on planets. Some of them are reptilians, but all reptilians are not bad. So Earth falls in grace. The graceful Garden of Eden story is over at this point. And what occurs is this feeding source of energy. It's a feeding source of energy. And there are planets in the galaxy that are prison planets, that are kept cattle entities. And so this is what the push has been, to turn Earth back into a kept cattle, sheeple if you will, planet. And it has been that way for quite a while now. Various demigods, influences from other galactic races occur throughout this time. Many, many of them. Hundreds of thousands of years ago, the Mahabharata, the flying Vimanas, these different stories, Shiva and that whole lineage, Shiva, Krishna, Vishnu, or Brahman, Vishnu, Krishna, etc. That's a whole different lineage. It's from another part of the galaxy. There's a mix of races on Earth that are literally from other parts of the galaxy. The Aborigines in Australia are completely their own frequency vibration. The red race, which is first in Atlantis, is its own frequency vibration. The Oriental race is a different frequency vibration. The white race is a different frequency. The Orunalocus, the black race, is a whole different frequency. So we're trying this Earth experiment of mixing 5 major races with various degrees of difficulty and success. And we are now in a period where these races are going to have a chance at creating a new galactic human. All the old things need to be purged. So how do we control the humans, the free spirits? What you do is you traumatize them emotionally. You get them to not be real with their responses. So how do you take over a planet? You traumatize them with death, continual threat of death, wars, dangers, and you get them basically to sell their souls for that, for some semblance of security is how you take down a planet. So on Earth, we traumatize enough people, rape, murder, kill, sacrifice. All right, says it reconnected. So you want to steal the soul energy when you take over a planet like this. So you want to dumb down the population, you want to domesticate them, you want to take away their freedoms. You want to basically turn them into obedient cattle, just like we do it with horses or domesticate animals and so forth. You want to do that with the spirits as well. And you want them to willingly train their own kids to do the same thing. So you institute religions and governments that promise these false heavens and the threat of death. You do the carrot and the stick. The carrot is, here, you go to heaven if you join our religion, but only if you kill the other religions. So you keep the wars going, because the actual blood sacrifice during wars, these archonic beings, call them what you want, these vampire beings, these denial spirits, these dark emperors, lords, feed on the suffering. Literally, this is how it works. When you repress your emotions, your natural, effulgent, flowing emotions, the way children are, become ye as little children. Unless you become as little children, you will not enter the kingdom of heaven. Uncle, the emperor has no clothes. When we shut down our natural emotional response, that energy is suppressed, repressed. That energy can then be stolen because it is not expressing naturally. It has to go somewhere else, and you can live off the denial, the repression. So the denial spirits, the suppressed spirits, fuck the Scientology shit, that's a total cult. But the suppressive spirits, that's the wrong lingo over there because of Scientology, but the repressed naturalness of humans is what's fed upon. It's called loosh. It's soul energy that can literally be lapped up, sucked up. And this is why the blood sacrifices are used. The Abrahamic, sacrifice the heifer, slice their throats, bleed the blood into the fire, because the soul essence is close to the blood. So this is what Earth has turned into. Basically religions and suppressed governments, fear and terror, to keep the fear going to be fed upon. This is a short briefing. So many civilizations, and you forget that you want people to be dumb. You want to mind wipe them. So the Lemurian, the Pangea, the Lemurian and Atlantis civilizations, which are much, much longer than any known civilization that we've had, that's officially acknowledged, they will disappear, be mind wiped from the collective. Okay. The more you keep people in the dark, the more you can occultify them. Occult literally means operating in the dark. You keep people dumb enough that they don't know that there's other dimensions, other nature kingdom dimensions, avatars, and so forth. A limited amount of knowledge. Here's your tiny religion. You have to fight to the death to do it. Please kill each other, spill blood on the ground. 100 million people killed in the 20th century in wars, because there's a feeding on terror and fear. This is why they're initiating a permanent war on terror. That's why, because the fear is what the denial spirits feed on. So this is basically what's going on Earth. Now here's the way to get out of it. The way you get free, you have to, these fears, these suppressed emotions, the karma, drama, and karma that's caught literally in your cells, past lives accumulated soul tartar, if you will, karma, that stuff has to be cleaned out. You're only a victim if you have open wounds. There's a vampire bat in South America that feeds on the open wounds of cows. And it sedates the wound area so the cows don't feel it. They secrete an anesthetic. Same here. So in order for you to get free, you have to actually free your trauma, drama, and karma. And this is accumulated pains, things that you touch like a hot stove and run the other way. This, when you reclaim your energy body, your fuller consciousness, and you don't have the repressed in the basement, forgotten memories, but you actually do become conscious again to see all your past and future lives, you can no longer be fed upon. It's an innocence lost on earth. We're naive to begin with, just like kids. And then you go through, the getting picked on by the other kids, attacked, brutalized fights and stuff like that. And we've been going through that for a long time on earth. Now the second birth, presaged, prefaced by Jesus and various masters, this second birth that humans need to go through. This is the cusp of that. It's been seeded now for the potential real awakening on earth, of reclaiming our power. But the only way you can actually do the reclaiming of the power is to do it energetically in your literal bone marrow and your cells. The body, most of the bodies on earth are twisted in the diseases because we carry so much karma, trauma, and drama in our literal cells. Various body modalities and so forth will help with this. So basically, Earth was an innocent, naive planet. Paradise was real and Pangea, form change and so forth. But we did not have the introduction of deception, connivingness. Oh, what a tangled web. People told the truth. This is why the innocence of Earth is what we long for still. But we have to go through the betrayal of the fact that there are these, quote, evil, if you will, races that feed on other planets and suck them dry and leave them as a cinder, basically. They destroy them or blow them up, like our asteroid belt. So on Earth, that's what's happened. We've been taken over by these beings that feed on innocence, whether that's manifesting as priests, fucking little boys, stealing their innocence, whether that's corporations that just feed on consumers, consume consumers. This is the model. The feeding model has happened on Earth. You can stop this inside yourself. You can stop participating in being a victim of this. If you're a feeder and mistakenly you've gone for that, you can change that. If you're a feeder because that's how you were designed by the universe, you can't change it. That's part of who you are and your destiny. So, that's it. When you incarnate on Earth, for the first times you're pretty clean. But when you accumulate karma, if you're here to learn this cycle, the only way out is, unless you become as little children, you will not enter the kingdom of heaven. That's what Jesus says, and it's said in different ways by different teachers. You have to clean your karma. You have to get honest, forthright, ahimsa, true nonviolence, a true Taoism. You don't have harm towards anybody, even if you're killing them. Now that's a deeper concept than the false Gandhi thing that he did. So on Earth, this is the time when the reawakening happens. The most powerful thing to get out of the grip of the archons, or these feeder spirits, the denial spirits, is to heal yourself. Not offer any food. Your own denial, your own suffering, your own trauma is literally food. It's like a bully only picks on you as long as he's getting a kick out of it, meaning he's actually hurting you. Once you're not woundable, there's nothing for them to feed on. So healing your own wounds is what the earth experienced. First, the fall of grace, and there's fallen angels and ETs and so forth that arrived on earth, and there's lots of detailed stories. This is the executive summary. So to come back out of this is what those real avatars and teachers have taught us. Jesus, obviously one of them, Krishna, Buddha, and others. Thousands of lesser and larger saints. So on earth, the way out of this cycle is not to pretend there's no chakras. It's not to create these mental things. Oh, it's a soul trap in Saturn. That may be true. But for you to only get your own power back, that's the only thing that's going to make you safe again. And or if you've never been a god before, and you're an earth spirit advancing up into that godhood, That's the only way to do it. You have to shine the light in all the crevices of all your being. This is no easy task because thousands of years of programming now have said that that's wrong. Being authentic, being open with your heart, being in touch with your gut, being open sexually, being open to inspiration. Most humans are completely shut down at this point. They're barely functioning. They're economic biobots, slave bots. So, but millions of us on the planet are awakening to there can be a better way, where technology and organic things can work together, where humans can become more and more authentic with each other, where we can have common ground. The real way that's going to change is you cleaning out in your own bone marrow, in your cells, the parts of you that are still wounded 3-year-olds. Inside, we're all still 3-year-olds. Inside, we're all still traumatized 3-year-olds. Life has been a fight or flight system on Earth for a long time to imprint the fear. It's like traumatizing a dog. It's like if I traumatized Gabby here, if I hurt her repeatedly, she would have built-in imprint traumas. That's what's happened to humans. These are the imprint traumas that need to be released. And this is what every teacher goes through, from St. Francis to Jesus himself to Buddha to whoever, to Horus to Jesus, of course. They have to face down what they sometimes allegorically call the devil, or the Maya, the mitote, the dream fog. Innocence, fall of grace, now you as an individual, Joel, can put yourself back into real heaven. Real heaven is right here with us. And hell is right here with us. It is our perception system. It is our accumulated karma, trauma, and trauma, drama, and karma, or not, that will be the decision if you're experiencing it enjoyably, lovingly, if you're experiencing heaven or hell on earth, is your filters. You can change the filters. So Earth is moving towards her destiny to be a birthing chamber, if you will, of galactic gods. But to do that, you have to get clean. You have to get clean of your internal backed up fears. The fear monster is the biggest thing, not the fight fear. Anyway, so that's what's happened on Earth. Basically, it's fallen from an innocent, naive planet into a planet being fed upon. Oh, what a tangled web we weave. And there's cabals on the Earth, and they work with off-world archonic reptilians. I know it sounds crazy for some of us, and other entities as well. But no one can stop you from getting free. You cannot be part of the cult, though. You got to walk away from the matrix. Smartly. Be in the world, but not of it. Start making yourself free. No one can stop that. I didn't know why it would happen to me. I was sincere about it. I had walked away from some, the normal cult that tried to suck me in to work for hedge funds or whatever. And yeah, it looks great. You get your own yacht after about 10 years and you can retire with, 50 million in the bank if you do it right. Great, but it's selling your soul. It really is. Not that there's anything wrong with money. You can be super wealthy and work for Source. Absolutely. So that's the basic thing that's happened on Earth. We fell into a planet that's a kept cattle planet through various religions and governments and fear. The carrot and the stick keep people in a constant state of sort of stress. And these entities feed off of that. And every so often they create major, major wars. So it's full-on rape, murder, kill, full-on survival of the fittest. They imprint that into the human, so we become sort of permanent senders of fear. Or at least parts of us doing that. To get free of that, you got to go back into these places, face the devils, face your own programs, face your own imprints, take your energy back. Gets better and better on this path. Earth has decided to not be destroyed. So she's now an incubation chamber for gods. This is the time when it's going to start. The big revealing is going to happen. The crap the beings that have fed off of humans, the secret cabals inside of governments, etc., the pedophilia, satanic rings, all that shit's going to be exposed right now. Starting, it's only going to go, it's going to get sharper and sharper, the exponential curve of exposing this stuff. But feeding on that, the more important thing is that you heal yourself. And this is basically facing our own internal fears and our programming. Facing the shit that we've suppressed and letting in the stuff that we've pushed away. The good stuff we've pushed away, you need to let in your glory, how powerful you are, how beautiful you are, what an amazing God you are, like a God in action, like Shakespeare says, or like Jesus says one day, just looking at people, he goes, don't you know you're gods, man? Why are you fucking asking me all these questions over and over again? Don't you know you're gods? This is what I'm trying to get you guys to realize. This is not an easy task, but each time you clean something out, the living waters, the new kundalini, the new awakening, the new ahas, the awareness, come right in. Earth is a galactic incubator for gods. Now that's not an easy test. Many people fail out of the Navy SEALs. Well, Earth is a lot harder than the Navy SEALs. It has to do with emotional mastery, spiritual mastery, physical mastery. In one level, it's very, very difficult when you're caught in the Maya Mitote dream fog, the illusion. But when you go simple again with just being real with your feelings, how do I really feel? Get conscious of your inner energies. Be present. Be aware. Like Eckhart Tolle says, he's good at this stuff in explaining it. Be at least as interested in what's going on your inside as what you're noticing on the outside. So, Executive Earth Briefing, yeah, that's what's going on. We're an innocent planet. Earth spirits and some outer galactic spirits created bodies, played with DNA. There's been experiments going on. There's a whole much, much bigger story. We fell in grace by deceptive spirits that came in that want to feed off of energies. And we couldn't understand it. We were kind of like innocent marks at the grade school by the older kids that were playing these tricks on us. But it's for a reason. And now is the time to go, I've been through all this shit for lifetimes. I know how bad it gets. I know deception. I know rape, murder, kill. I know wars. I know lying. I know betrayal. We've been exposed to it. Now it's time for the second birth. The real innocence. Wise innocence. Not naive innocence. And you do that by getting the smarts, the insights, learning to feel your heart and your intuition, and then set about cleaning out your house. And all these things shall be added unto you. All these powers. Complete freedom over materiality. Being able to manifest things, whether right away, as avatars do, or just by thinking of them and letting them come to you. This is what's going on. Earth is a God incubator. All right. Let's see if that worked. All right. Much love.